The O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 12 years running.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Laura Ingram, in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the Unresolved Problem segment tonight, just when we thought the so-called war on women debate was over, last night's moderator, Martha Raddatz, might have reignited the issue with a question about abortion and faith.
I don't see how a person can separate their public life from their private life or from their faith. Our faith informs us in everything we do. My faith informs me about how to take care of the vulnerable, about how to make sure that people have a chance in life. Now, you want to ask basically why I'm pro-life? It's not simply because of my Catholic faith. That's a factor, of course. But it's also because of reason and science.
I accept my church's position on abortion as what we call de fide doctrine. Life begins at conception. That's the church's judgment. I accept it in my personal life. But I refuse to impose it on equally devout Christians and Muslims and Jews. And I just refuse to impose that on others.
With us now from Los Angeles, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, and from Denver, Marilyn Musgrave, a vice president at the Susan B. Anthony List organization, which is a pro-life group. All right, ladies, let's get a crack at this. Leslie, let's start with you. What did you make of this late abortion question? It was basically at the end of the debate after we discussed Afghanistan, Libya, tax policy, Medicare, Social Security, and then came this.
Well, actually, I think it was a good question, and I don't think it was resurrecting the war on women, because I think the war on women is still going on, and I don't think it's been dead and buried. I think especially because these are two Catholic men, and this is an issue that obviously is very emotional, that is very divisive in our nation, and there are people who do vote just based on pro-life or pro-choice candidates, and I thought it was very good for her to get that. And one of the things I loved about both, honestly, of their answers is it was so unrehearsed for both of them. And I felt very heartfelt, and I bought both of their answers. I thought it was very honest. And I concur with Vice President Biden's answer on that.
Marilyn, what was your takeaway from this? I mean, I'm a Roman Catholic, and I kind of I recoiled a little bit about what Vice President Biden said. I mean, I understand he says personally he accepts the judgment, but he's not going to really do anything to forward the judgment of his own church, which isn't really what the church says we should do. But go ahead.
Well, first of all, this administration could not be any more extreme on abortion. And Joe Biden saying that he didn't want to force his beliefs on other people, really? What about the Health and Human Services mandate, where religious institutions and employers are forced to subsidize abortion-inducing drugs? What about Obamacare, the largest expansion of abortion since Roe v. Wade? This administration could not be any more extreme on abortion. And I agree with Leslie. I'm very glad the question was asked, because while Americans are becoming more and more pro-life, the policies coming from this administration could not be any more extreme.
Leslie, the Catholic bishops actually came out strongly today in a statement, which is kind of unusual after a vice presidential debate, but they came out strongly rebuking the vice president for what he said about that HHS mandate, saying there is absolutely no meaningful accommodation to Catholic universities, other religious charities, or Catholic hospitals. Indeed, we still have to subsidize through premium support policies that allow for the use of and give abortifacient drugs and contraceptives, sterilization procedures, etc. This is against our religious liberty concerns, and the vice president is simply wrong on this. So he tried to say, I stand with my church, but then the top church officials in the United States came out today and said, you're not getting this right. They're obviously suing the Obama administration as well.
I'm just going to say that this is no surprise. I mean, they have a suit against this administration, and they have said not only to the vice president today, but they said to John Kerry, who is a Catholic as well, years ago, which is basically if you're not in line, in step, even as a politician who served the general public, who are not all Roman Catholics, well, then, you're not with us. And if you're not with us, you're against us. I would disagree that, quite frankly, that the country's becoming, quote, more pro-life. What I think we have are people
the polls show
very
that,
much like like myself, very much like myself. I would never choose to have an abortion. I had numerous miscarriages, adopted a child, 13 IVF cycles, but I went through hell to have kids. So I would never do that. But I'm not going to take the choice away for you to do with your body something that I may not choose for myself. And it goes beyond abortion, in my opinion.
And then, Marilyn, what about Paul Ryan's take on this? I mean, he had to confront the issue of rape and incest, and he said he goes along with the Romney formulation on this, which is rape, incest. You know, we're not going to stand in the way of, abortion on that. Yeah, life of the mother exceptions, which is different from obviously what the Catholic Church believes and what Paul Ryan believes. But look, you know, he's not the top of the ticket. He's the vice presidential pick.
Well, he is, and he's talking about actual policies that have been introduced. And the fact of the matter, again, this is the most extreme president on abortion that we've ever had, opposing any restrictions on abortion at all. Late-term abortion, sex selection ban, Infant Born Alive Act. Americans really are, the majority of Americans really are pro-life, and polling shows that. Yet the policies coming out of this administration could not be any more extreme.
Yeah, I wish Ryan brought up the Born Alive Infant Protection Act, but he didn't bring that up last night.
Absolutely.
That was a missed opportunity. Ladies, we appreciate it.
Barack Obama, state senator.